Okay, so I've done a few videos on my electric forklifts. Long story short, go back, watch the videos, but I wanted to show these two that I've got to you, and we did finally wrap the big Toyota up as far as repairs, so I wanted to go over that. This forklift here we've got for basically free. It was parked. It's got about 20,000 hours on it, so it's been used a lot, but it's like a 3,000 pound Toyota. Year-wise, I would guess 98, 99, 2000, something like that. The batteries were completely gone. Um, Now the batteries do act as counterweight because the lead acid are so heavy. In our case, we haven't been putting the counterweight in the back because we don't really hit capacity with these forklifts. But when you go lithium batteries like we've been going, you could put a steel block in the back or weld steel plates on the back or hang something and get your counterweight back. So I went with an eco battery, and here's the gauge for it. 36 volt, and here it is, just one golf cart battery. That's 36 volt, 105 amp hour. So that's not back to the capacity of the lead acid. It's short of capacity, but two of those would be back to lead acid capacity. But we're never going to have to replace that lithium again. So you can find these electric forklifts for basically cheap when the lead acid has gone bad for the second, third, fourth time. They get parked. Unfortunately, a lot of times they get parked outside, and your lift cylinder seals go bad, which I'll get into that on our bigger Toyota. But once we threw batteries in this basically free forklift, we put a new seat on, the gauge, the batteries. We had to do a little brake work. It runs awesome. This thing's a little workhorse. We use it every single day, and we have a solar panel on top. So when it's parked outside and we're working all day, basically we put back in what we use as far as power. We run the Renogy boost controller. So you can run one solar panel and this bumps the voltage up so it can charge a 36 volt battery because that's a 24 volt panel. And just sort of like a golf cart, that solar panel on this works pretty well. But this little 3,000 pound forklift will lift the end of a 40-foot container up, which a 40-foot container is 8,800 pounds. So it'll lift the end up without the back coming up, generally speaking, if we get the container all the way to the mast, because your lifting capacity of a forklift diminishes exponentially as you move away from the mast. But it'll lift the end of a 40-foot up, no problem, and we haven't had any counterweight in there. So we're really happy with this forklift. So let me show you the big Toyota and what we had to do with it. So we also have a solar panel on the golf cart, and as you can see, it's basically always got a full battery. Same Renogy boost controller, and I've done videos on those, so go back and watch them. So on this big Toyota, I paid, I think, like $1,500 for this lift. It's an 8,000 pound Toyota. It's a Series 7. I'm guessing it's like a 2010, 2012, 14, something like that. So a heck of a deal. These things used are probably $30,000, $40,000. So we got the lead acid out. I did get the lead acid back to life, got the forklift to work. But this was, again, likely parked because the batteries were out. And so these electric forklifts get parked because the batteries are dead, but you don't have other issues. But when they sit outside, you're probably going to have to replace seals. So these things are a bargain all day long. The owners typically aren't thinking about lithium batteries. Now, companies do sell lithium with a counterweight as a kit that they make custom for that forklift. You can buy those as well, but they're a lot more money, so I don't really mess with them. In here, we've got the charger. We've just plugged it in overnight. We've got two 105 amp hour, 36 volt. These are Vatra batteries. You can find them on Amazon, and we had an issue with one. They swapped it out, so I've been happy with the customer service. Here's the little LCD screen that the Vatra batteries come with. Let it boot up there. Tells you battery temp, voltage, total power, everything. And the other thing we did with this, this 8,000 pound Toyota actually gets around off-road pretty well. So we put a 10,000 watt inverter on here so we can weld out in the field where we don't have power. And that runs off the lithium. So it's basically a mobile welding cart plus forklift. So anyway, we got this all running, and this cylinder was leaking, squirting fluid, and we kind of just dealt with it for a couple months. Then the left cylinder started leaking, so I finally called a forklift repair place, and when they got here, they lifted up, and the primary was leaking. So we ended up replacing the seals on all three cylinders. It was about a day job. He was able to replace the seals on the bench. So we're into this forklift forklift with batteries, seal replacement, and all that for probably $5,000. But I think we've got like a $25,000 forklift here, and now it's got lithium, so we're never going to have another problem with batteries. Now, most of them do have this Anderson connector. If it's missing this when you get the forklift, you can buy these Anderson connectors, every different size, and install that. That's how you get your power from your batteries to your lift. So if I get in here, I will show you. Let's see what the hours are on this lift. Check this out. 4,700 hours. And like I said, we got this thing for like 1,500 bucks. So absolutely awesome forklift. You can see here, here's what's pretty interesting. If I do, look how many amps it's pulling. 200 amps when I'm doing the lift up. So when I'm driving and lifting, it'll pull up to about 350 amps. These lithium batteries can discharge about 250 amps a piece. So once you get into the bigger forklifts, you need at least 2 lithium batteries. Let me know if you guys got questions, but these electric forklifts are awesome. Good deal all day.